Hi Virgo, welcome to a tarot reading for the week of February 1st through 7th. It's Raina here. So this isn't what I normally do, but I had some, empty spaces in my video creation. I had kind of like a little space, so I thought I'd fill it in with this instead of something more major. This is more topical. So this is, I'm actually, usually you're supposed to record them before the actual start of the week, but that's how it came out. And just to let you know, I've been getting that Queen of Wands a lot lately, so I don't know if that has something to do with people's choices in life, what they're kind of putting attention on, but it seems kind of interesting. Okay, so this is a slightly different spread than I normally do, but it's pretty similar. The heart of the matter is the Queen of Wands. So this is, it is the archetype of the businesswoman, the career woman, mother. I could say woman, but I mean mother. So those kinds of issues may be on some people's minds like that. There's so many permutations of that. I'm working, but I don't feel like, I have enough time with my children. I want to have children, but I don't have that kind of, I have that fear that I will have to give up my career. You could be somebody who is an empty nester and looking back and maybe about to retire and saying, was it worth it? During the second Saturn return, we are close to the age of 60, and a lot of people, if they have devoted their life to a career, the second Saturn return will really tell you, like, what, how has it been for you? Did you feel like you accomplished what you wanted to accomplish? To understand the truth, though, there is no such thing as time. So there are people who are late bloomers. There are people who have children when they're 40. So it's not even, by that point, they may have already had a lot of accomplishments career-wise, and they can take it a little bit easier. They're not in need of constant pats on the back. I don't know. Queen of Wands can be a Sagittarian also. That may be in your life. Perhaps you've gained more confidence, Virgo. That's a possibility, and you feel more able to kind of stand your ground. Yeah, we do have a card like that, so maybe it's something like that. In the past position, this is your card, the Hermit, and it almost, if this is a situation with somebody who's having children, it could be that you were at home and you felt isolated, and that is kind of propelling you to get back into this workforce. But there's wisdom with the Hermit, so regardless of what has prompted you to get to this point, you're now ready. There's in other words, there's a real contrast between the energy of the Hermit and the Queen of Wands. I talk about this card and I say this should be a Leo because this is fire energy, but she's holding a sunflower. That's a symbol of, that's the ruler of Leo, the sun. Why is it Sag? But we can just broaden it out to be, it's fire energy. What does fire stand for? It stands for self-assertiveness. It stands for autonomy and confidence. The Hermit is all about going inward. The fire energy is extroverted. So you being connected to the Hermit and being a feminine earth sign, you're an earth sign because you're a feminine, you're a feminine sign because you're an earth sign. So there is going to naturally be in the typical Virgo persona that introverted nature, the bookworm, because you're ruled by Mercury. So something is happening that is giving you that confidence, even though you may tend towards, I have the moon in Virgo, self-doubt. What's that word, like, just inhibition. But I'm thinking of like insecurity, but there was a word I was thinking of, like being like excessively critical, self-critical. That's what I meant. And that perfectionistic attitude can keep you paralyzed. So something is making you more extroverted and confident. And that can help you in any area of your life. The energy around you, maybe this is why. A person, water sign male, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, who is very sensitive and romantic, and if this is a love relationship, this person may have brought you out of your shell because they see what is the good that is inside of you. And this is the beautiful thing about these kinds of soulful relationships, is that they can see, even if you hide it, they can see the good in you. If you try to be gruff, they can see the heart of gold. That kind of person can perceive things. This is, anytime you have cups, you're talking about water energy, and that's very psychic, and they can intuit if, the heart of somebody else. And so that person may have brought you out of your shell, and the hermit could represent your shell. I don't like to, the only reason I don't like to say the hermit in that way is because the hermit can be somebody who's just simply getting in touch with their spiritual nature and kind of keeping very, keeping their own counsel. That doesn't mean anything bad. It's not like they're just withdrawing because of a negative reason. But I'm looking at it in terms of like a romantic situation. Another thing too is that there may be like, I'm thinking like a job offer with the Knight of Cups. Sometimes he's like holding out this cup to somebody else. And maybe that gives you validation because, this is the card of the advice. This is the Seven of Wands. This is a card of being in a self-defensive posture. So what I was saying earlier about stand your ground, that's what this card represents. So, maybe the Knight of Cups is a coworker who has your back. Somebody, see, because it's a knight, I don't perceive them as being in a position of authority. Tends to be. It will probably be more like a coworker. So that person may have the, maybe you're teaming up with this person to be able to fight off unfair accusations that have been given to you, perhaps by somebody who has a vested interest in keeping you down. So I'm thinking about the workplace, but I guess it could be in any situation where you're dealing with people who are pushing back at you, trying to undermine you in some way. So it could be family, I guess, or in a personal relationship. For instance, what if you have a marriage that is doing poorly, and maybe you've even separated. Maybe the hermit is separating, but at the very least, really thinking seriously about this. Like, this ain't working. We got to do something about it, or I have to do something about this. And there is somebody who has your back. Maybe it's somebody who is like a coworker that you kind of spill your guts out to, and that person may be telling you, you have to assert yourself. And the Seven of Wands, the number 7 is a number of a turning point. And if somebody has been taking it, and then all of a sudden they decide to stand up for themselves, that even if, let's say it was in the workplace, what if you stood up for yourself against what you feel are false accusations? I'm talking about especially with a boss who's trying to get you to feel that you're lucky to even have the job. What if you actually pushed back and you lost your job? In a situation like that, you might feel like, oh, that's it. Okay, there it goes. Now I'm screwed. But actually, this would be saying that this is this is how it should be, because it means that you have planted a seed that you are not going to allow yourself to be berated, demeaned. And so even if there is a negative consequence, you may have changed your timeline altogether because you have chosen to step out of this victimization pattern. So it's, that's the interesting thing about life. It's like you might not get that immediate gratification of, oh, well, this person stood up for themselves. Okay, I'm going to leave them alone. No, I mean, they might ratchet it up. But that will, I have just found that there were certain repeating patterns in my life. And once I had this, either it was a revelation or you're acting differently than you did before, then it's like it kind of like obliterates that karma. And it's like you don't have to experience it again. It's the weirdest thing. And it doesn't mean, it's very important to note that your life is just perfect and you never have any conflicts in life. There might be other areas that you notice these patterns or a variation of whatever was obliterated. But you never experience the same thing in the same way again. And it's very heartening to know this, because you realize how much you can shape of your reality. You might not be able to control everything that happens in your life. I think that would be foolish to believe that, and probably would make you go crazy, but a lot more than you think. That you hold a lot more power. And the outcome, 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. So what is this wish fulfillment that is connected to that 7 of Wands? You get what you want. You might be feeling smug about it because it's almost like, how you like me now. I think I just found my title of my video, right? But yeah, and that's kind of the thing. And it may be something that feels very uncomfortable when you're going through the process, but all's well that ends well. So like even for some women, you may have stayed at home with your child and now you want to be out in the workforce, and you may get pushback for that. And your partner may be very comfortable, and it may have nothing to do with sexism or anything like that. It could simply be because that person worries that you will not be able to, that they will not have that kind of home life that they wanted. And it doesn't make that other person a villain. Somebody may help you. That Knight of Cups person may be there to help you in some way, to kind of ease that transition. Perhaps you even decide to work from home. You might make your own kind of compromise so that you can still be there. So, and in any case, this is a card, this is an ending for this reading of good times, feeling satisfied with whatever is happening. I hope that you enjoyed this, Virgo. If you'd like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.